Mussels are just awesome. Most people think of them as like a rock, or when they're walking through a stream, you don't even realize they're there. They are our natural wastewater treatment plant. They're constantly filtering. No matter what, they're removing tons of particulates from the water column, and they are a keystone species in a riverbed. We are eccentric biologists. We're the DNR's mussel program, and our program does everything mussels. Does that make sense? I don't know how else to describe it.
I think it does.
Mike is like the best storyteller. He's the one who's going to be able to answer this.
Yeah, and who is Mike?
Mike Davis is my long-term mentor. He's been working with the DNR since 1987. He is our godfather of freshwater mussels at the DNR. Oh, how can I describe him? Mike has been such a mentor my entire life. It's his personality, his knowledge, his ability to teach. He's like a great-granddad, not great-granddad. He's like a granddad or somebody that I've just looked up to, and their personality is so warm and inviting, and they want to make everyone a better person. I never want him to leave. I never want him to retire.
But is he going to?
He is. He retires. I'm talking about your retirement and how I'm gonna not enjoy it.
What does it take to devote your life to something like mussel research?
Probably a lot of mistakes along life's course, I don't know. And most people don't even know what a mussel is, let alone anything about them. They look like a rock with goo inside, was the one guy who described it to me. But they're definitely not that.
How did you get into mussels?
From Mike.
I got asked to be a chaperone on a field trip for high school students to Belize.
And he mentioned to one of my best friends and I, we hire divers like you. If you want to go out on the Mississippi and find clams all summer, well, yeah, we'll take a summer job, especially if it involves diving, sunshine, mussels, rivers, beautiful Minnesota summers. You can't beat them.
The mussels is the weird word in there.
Yeah.
Everything else people understand, and you're like, and it had mussels in it.
It's like the proverbial I was hooked moment.
And then it was like zooming more and more in on just mussels.
Yeah.
The rest of my life, I'm good with mussels.
Yep. It is such a small niche. There's probably 6 or less per state throughout the US.
What have you noticed amongst the kind of younger generations of biologists compared to biologists of your era?
They're a little less educated scientifically.
Oh, interesting.
What?
Less physics and chemistry knowledge.
In my defense, there is a
Well, you're
tank
not the
volume.
newest generation. I'm talking about the ones coming in now.
How do you feel about retirement in general?
Well, I think it's kind of stupid, really. I mean, I don't know why people can't just keep doing what they do, and they can decide on their own, but we have all these rules around retirement and how you should or shouldn't do stuff,
So why are you stopping then?
Well, I can't continue to work for the DNR, I guess, because I've used my options up. Not as good as I once was, probably. We get rid of all these old white guys that created these messes, Our world will turn out better. We'll give these other young people a chance to take over.
It's a passion project.
Stuff. It is. For me, it wasn't a job, it was a mission. I was very mission oriented. I didn't even pay attention to how many hours I put in. I just learned how to do your timesheets so you don't get in trouble.
And what was the mission?
Well, to get them to know the mussels and get them started in these rivers where there were opportunities. The more we can clean up our act, the more opportunities will come along. Everything you do on the land gets concentrated in the streams, rivers, and lakes, because that's where the water winds up. So think about what you're doing. It's really the stuff passed in the 70s, the Clean Water Act, all that's given us the opportunity to bring things back in our rivers. So the mussels are coming back in the metro Mississippi. I mean, it went from a dead zone to an endangered species enclave, really. I mean, they're doing great.
It's a program that is a complete full circle. We've done the surveys, we've done the host research, we've raised the mussels, and now we're restoring them, and we're starting to see the cycle come back. Mussels have this really unique life cycle in which they are an obligate parasite on the gills or fins of fishes. If the right fish is there and the moment is right, they're gonna be brooding, releasing their larvae, getting on the gills of these fishes, and then the fish are gonna move up and downstream and be able to spread mussels to new mussel beds. So when you think about Minnesota has 51 species, we don't know how all of them reproduce. Some of them are still a giant, question mark.
Isn't that weird?
Yes, it is. Bivalves, gastropods, they are understudied. There's so many different types, and every mussel species is different. Working in mussel propagation, a lot of it is keeping fish alive and keeping baby mussels alive. This is what Mike created.
I wonder if they like their showers.
They tell me they do all the time. We refer to all of our things as kids. Look at how cute they are.
Do you really think they're cute?
Yeah, they're like little gemstones. When mussels are juveniles, they produce this byssus, which is almost the same as like a spider web.
I would tether them into the river so they don't wash away. So it's a survival
I could use
thing.
that. Tether them into the river.
Yeah. We're actually implementing things and making it happen rather than just studying it or documenting things going down tubes. I mean, we do that too, but we're also documenting successes. But overall, this is, when you step back, pretty exciting. There's no other lab anywhere close to us that has the opportunities that this is turning into gradually. You get everything to work right.
Do you feel proud looking at the state of the lab?
Sometimes I think it's my fault we got all these complications in our lives. Wouldn't have had to do any of this. Could have just sat back and lived off the fat of the land, as they say.
But they're just so cute. You have to see them from this side.
You need to purge the hose a little first.
Nah.
Should be good yet. So this is a thing I put together in when was that?
It was in the
88,
80s
I think.
because of that carpet.
Yeah, it was 1988. The names are not up to speed anymore. Things are getting rearranged all the time. I'm getting behind on that.
Mussel species are changing names.
Quadrula metanevra is now Theatrhythm metanevra.
Rather than me looking at a computer and trying to dig through data, I just ask Mike. And he'll say, oh, I remember this site from 1987.
Yeah, probably.
It's like a book. You don't even have, it's like, hey Siri, hey Mike, I have a question.
I'm quicker than Siri.
And this is why he's going to be missed.
Yeah, so those things are useful to have, that all gets lost when people disappear,
Well, hey, I think we got it, unless there's anything else either of you are dying to say.
I'm not dying for anything. I'm trying not to die. What are you talking about? Yeah. Well, anyway, it'd be interesting if they're going to monitor the winged maple leaf on the St. Croix.
Yeah.
And I put that grid in, how many years ago was that?
Thank you for watching Something Different, everybody. This documentary from MinnMax was made as part of Doc Lightning, which was our community short documentary film festival. We encouraged everybody in the MinnMax community to make a short documentary no matter what your skill level was, and the results were amazing. You can check out that full video on MinnMax's YouTube channel, or you can help support more stuff like this by subscribing to MinnMax's YouTube channel or supporting it directly over on Patreon. Thanks so much, everybody.